Welcome back. There we are. There I am. Good discussion. So and if you're ever in like an Old Testament Bible study, they talk about the wilderness in Egypt, and I go, oh no, let me tell you what it really is. So, hope you have some good discussion. Hey, tonight's going to be about love languages. Oh, don't have that up there. My mistake. The couple we have tonight, Carol and I our team didn't even know Johnny and Gabby Chick just a few months ago. They really kind of came into our world, and we just absolutely love these guys. When I first heard, I have to admit, when I first heard Johnny Chick, I went, ooh, Johnny Chick and the Blue Notes. Had to do that. So, we've had him at our house a couple times, and I got to tell you, I'm not sure I've ever met a couple so young in marriage that are so intentional, that have just put God right in the middle of it, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's been easy for them. In fact, I'm grateful that God's been at the heart of their relationship since they met. So, really excited to have a new take on love languages tonight, and let's welcome Johnny and Debbie Chick.
Hey guys, my name is Johnny.
And I'm Gabby.
And we have been married for 714 days. So we're kind of pros at this whole marriage thing. Now, as you can tell, the elephant in the room might be that we are quite young. And so you're probably asking, what do they have to offer, at our age? But really, we just want to share God's story and what God's done in our life. So, we want to talk about the wilderness and our wilderness journey. It actually started for us when we were dating.
Yeah, so when Johnny and I met, I was in a very interesting place. I had totally given up on men in marriage. And the reason for that was I had been hurt. I had been through several relationships, and I had come away with this thought that godly men just weren't into me. And that apparently only ungodly men were willing to pursue me, because it seemed that every godly man that I met just wasn't into the idea of marriage. He was cool being my friend, but nothing else. All the godly ones who couldn't keep their hands off me. It was obnoxious. Like, back off, guys, really. Yeah, so I had decided, you know what, I think somewhere in the Bible I've read that Paul the Apostle said something about being single is better than being married. So you know what, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to take the more holy route and just do the single thing. And that is when this guy came into my life and messed that all up. So when Johnny came to my life, I remember just being so amazed at who he was. First of all, he's a ton of fun. And that's always great. And he loves to dance, and I'm actually a dancer, and so that was awesome for me. But the thing that blew me away, honestly, was that he really loved God. And it wasn't just go to church on Sunday and then live the rest of his life the way he wanted it. It was real, and I could tell. And I remember getting really angry at God, being like, I just made this decision to just serve you and not, get married and be single for you because that's holy, and what's this guy doing? And God just challenged me, to be fully honest, he challenged me, and he was like, I want you to take a risk on this. Being single is not holier than being married. I have really good things for you with marriage, and I want you to take a risk on this guy. So I did. We started dating.
And here, 2 weeks into our dating relationship, I confessed that I had a serious pornography addiction. So this was the hardest thing I ever had to admit, but I knew that I needed to, because I knew she was probably going to leave me after that, but there was too much guilt and too much shame to keep that monster in the dark in our relationship.
Yeah. So that was great. I was so angry. I was angry at him. I felt like he totally betrayed me. I was actually amazed. I was like, how did you do that for all the time? We knew each other for years, actually, before we dated. I was like, how did you do that? How did you trick me? I had no idea. How could you be that and then be this? I just didn't get it. And I was so angry at God. I was like, what the hell? What the hell, Jesus? I was going to be single for you. Remember this conversation, God? You and me, we had it, and you were like, take a risk on this guy. And I did, and this happens? This does not make sense. And so I did the only thing that I knew to do at that time. I was just extremely confused. I called up my aunt. My aunt is an amazing woman. She actually helped raise me as a kid. Loves Jesus so much. And she just has this amazing way of hearing God's voice. And I remember I called her up and I was like, Aunt Kate, I don't know what to do. I can't tell you what's going on, but it's bad. And I can't hear God's voice. I'm totally confused. I just need you to talk to him and find out what he wants for me to do about this bad thing that just happened. And she said, Gabby, that's crazy. I literally just had you on my mind. And I literally just felt like I needed to share this scripture with you. And she shared Luke 24. And that scripture is where Mary Magdalene and some of the Jesus disciples had come to the tomb that Jesus had been in. And they saw that this stone had been rolled away from the tomb. And the angels were like, what are you doing? Like, he's not here, he's alive. And my aunt said to me, she's like, baby girl, I don't know what you're going through, I don't know what's going on, but I want you to know that Jesus has overcome death and that nothing is impossible with him. And I believe he's telling you that he's going to roll away the stone, remove that impossible thing that you're facing. So I was like, wow, okay. I guess we're going to keep going. And so we kept going, and it was a 4-year-long wilderness journey.
Yeah, it was. It was a journey, and it was a journey of failure. It was a very hard journey. I wanted more than ever for this addiction to just go away. This wasn't, my first time going against this thing and praying against it. And this is it. Years and years and years and years of praying against this and praying to God, just take it away. So I didn't want it. And I couldn't get out. And it was this monster of just, it would not go away. And nothing would happen. I would just sink deeper and deeper into depression and failure. And at one point, I wanted to kill myself. I would be sober from porn for a week and mess up again and have to confess to her, sending her into her own cycle of fear and doubt and what the hell. Sometimes I would dread going to see Gabby because I kept thinking when I tell her this time she's going to leave for sure. Then I eventually started, I found a group of guys that went through the same struggle, that had the same struggles with pornography that I did. I met up with them every week, and it started to change the battle I had with Monster for a little bit. I didn't feel completely isolated and alone for the first time in my life. There's somebody else dealing with the same things that I was. And I felt relief from some of my depression, even though my addiction was just as strong as ever.
Yeah, and man, when he found this group, guys, it was huge. Because up to that point, I had been the only one who cared enough to be asking him questions and holding him accountable. Because daggone it, everybody just wanted to shove it under the rug and not deal with it. And I loved him too daggone much to let it stay. It was destroying him. And I was not going to have it. And I was like, well, if nobody else is going to, I will. And I became his police officer. You know, I was his mother. I was his Holy Spirit. I was the only one, and I was just in such a lonely place because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to ask, how did it go this week? Did anything happen? Where did you go? What did you see? What's going on? How are you doing? I did not want to ask those questions, but somebody needed to be asking. Somebody needed to know, to make him know that they cared. And when this group came into our lives, it was totally from Jesus, because finally I had a group of people who cared about him, who were going to ask him those questions, who were going to, love him enough to hold him accountable and take care of him. And I didn't have to be his police officer anymore. I could trust them with him. And man, the changes that we saw because of this community were incredible. It wasn't until that time that big breakthrough finally began to happen.
Yeah, so, I don't know what it is for you guys. It doesn't have to be this huge addiction. It doesn't have to be this big monster. It could be a small thing, but, I want to invite you to use this group and your table to be what that men's group was for me. And, what change needs to happen for you guys? Why did you guys come here? You want to change. And so maybe that can happen by sharing your story with somebody tonight. And don't worry, guys, there is good news at the end of this story.
That's a little heavy.
But first, we're going to continue that story later. But first, we're going to move to our table activity.
Alright, so it's your turn. And like Johnny said, you may not be facing a monster like of the size that we were. Maybe you are. Maybe your monster is small, revolving around who does the chores on a weekly basis. Still a very real conflict, something that's still very important to talk about. So we're going to have you guys as a couple take about 6 minutes to discuss a change that you desire to be made in your marriage. And it may even be something that your spouse is unaware of. That's okay. So take about 6 minutes as a couple, and then when you're done, table facilitators, we're going to have you, for each couple, take about 2 to 3 minutes for them to share kind of what they've discussed. Sound good?